And what's happening, guys? It's the Club of the Man 1993 back up here again for another live review. I just did my SmackDown live review a couple hours ago because I caught it late, but I was able to watch NXT live immediately right away. So I just finished it up, and I want to do my live review for NXT right now and get it over with. So overall, another solid show by the Yellow brand, or the developmental brand as always. NXT has been on a roll, I believe, since NXT TakeOver Chicago. And this is another good build to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. So without further ado, let's just get into this quick little show. We start off with a match. It was Johnny Gargano making his in-ring return, his first match since NXT TakeOver Chicago, where his former best friend now, Tommaso Ciampa, turned on him. Gargano did come out to DIY's music, and when he came out, though, he kind of made it sound like someone else was coming out, but he was pretty much just like a stab with the finger or something, and it showed that Gargano's moving on from the past, and he wants to he won a new theme song. He's starting a singles career. He just wants to get going with it. So he comes out for a match, and with all Johnny Wrestling chants, and out comes also his opponent was Raul Mendoza. I believe they say he was in the Cruiserweight Classic. Again, I didn't remember a lot of people. I saw some matches, not everything in the Cruiserweight Classic, but Mendoza came out, and I'll give it to them. They had a pretty solid match between these two. Again, I don't really know Raul Mendoza too well at all, but I thought he had a good showing. I'd be interested to see if he continues to get some TV time in NXT. And a good win for Johnny Gargano with a submission towards the end. This is a good match. High flyers, lightweights, but in the 190s. Just putting on a pretty solid opening match for NXT. And Johnny Gargano looks to continue his momentum, and we'll see where it goes for him at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. In my predicted match card, I predicted a match with him and Andrade Cien Almas, but we'll see what happens. As Almas next week is taking on No Way Jose, so we'll see where it goes. But good opening match between Johnny Gargano and Raul Mendoza. We then had this really nice promo between Ember Moon and Asuka. Asuka came out first and pretty much just said, I have to defend my title against Ember Moon in 3 weeks at NXT or Brooklyn 3. The usual stuff of no one's ready for Asuka. Ember Moon will not be ready for Asuka. Out comes Ember Moon. And I'm glad this feud continued and it was spaced out like it was, because the story really developed. Because, I mean, their match at NXT Orlando was good, but it still felt like it was starting the story. And it had Asuka more so solidify her more in a heel role rather than she wasn't really much of a babyface, but she wasn't like a full-on heel yet. But she finally realized that she had a threat to her championship in Ember Moon, and she escaped the eclipse. And then Ember Moon does come out and pretty much tells Asuka, you claim no one's ready for Asuka. Maybe Asuka's not ready for Ember Moon, and says tells her the truth, and then how maybe you just fear me and whatnot. So Asuka goes to put her hand out for Ember Moon to shake it. Ember goes to shake it. Asuka just flips it back away, and then she slaps Ember, and then Ember strikes back, and they start a nice little brawl. I mean, it wasn't like the biggest brawl yet, but it was a good brawl between these two women, and Asuka had Ember down. It looked like Asuka was going to finish staying, but then Ember crawls up and hits the Eclipse on Asuka, stares down the championship, and she says, I'm going to touch it once I earn it. So wait until NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, which I'm predicting that's when Asuka will finally lose her first match, and Ember Moon will become the long-awaited new NXT Women's Champion. And I'm really excited to see this match, and this match really got me hyped up even more, so great promo by these two. We then had an interview with Bobby Roode talking about not just his as of now his Brooklyn opponent in Drew McIntyre, but also someone else who's had some issues with him with Roderick Strong since his match, and then their match a few weeks ago for the NXT Championship, and then after the way just Bobby Roode treated Strong's family, pretty much saying how crap. But he pretty much saying, oh, he chose to play the lottery again. Well, Roderick Strong needs to realize he doesn't belong in my NXT, blah, blah, blah. The usual stuff from Bobby Roode. And then, of course, he's pretty much saying like how Drew McIntyre says he's a changed man. This is this. He's like, so what? I don't care. And he says, I barely need to do. Goes to take off his lavalier mic, and then Roderick Strong shows up. It's like wanting to get a piece of Bobby Roode for everything that Bobby Roode has done to Strong's family. Screaming him. Then Regal comes in and he tells Roderick Strong to calm down. It's unprofessional. He's like, I want Bobby Roode. I don't care what he want Bobby Roode. And then William Regal says, well, you got my hands tied because he already has an opponent at TakeOver Brooklyn 3 and Drew McIntyre. Pretty much setting the stage and saying that Roderick Strong, you can't face Bobby Roode at Brooklyn 3 or as his opponent. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I haven't read any spoilers or anything. Will Roderick Strong get into this match, make it a triple threat at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3? We'll have to wait and see. But good backstage segment right here. I really like that they've done the Roderick Strong as of late, like allowing us to get to know him more, get more invested into his character. He has a family and everything that matters to him, and he does this for them. But of course, with having a supportive family, you get your enemies who try to bash his family and target them. So he's doing anything he can to stick up for his family. We then had a match between Sonya Deville and Jenna Van Bemmel. Van Bemmel was another pretty tall woman. Last week, I forgot who was the woman's name, like Lady Tapa, or it was a couple. There were bigger women we've seen here in NXT recently, but this match was more of a match to help put over promote Sonya Deville. She has like a mixed martial arts background. She's also like an MMA fighter with her gloves and such. And she was just toying around with Van Bemmel quite a bit until like she finally struck, and she eventually would end up defeating her. So it's like a good match. Again, just allows us to get to know Sonya Deville even more, and I look forward to seeing what they do with her in the future. Hopefully, a future NXT Women's Champion. And then we had this backstage promo where Hideo Itami was asked, like, what's up with this new attitude, stuff like that, and he's pretty much saying, I'm not getting any respect. No one's giving me any respect at all. And he comes out pretty much to say who's next, who wants a piece of him, even though he interfered in the ring before the main event, which we knew that Aleister Black was the main act. But Aleister Black did come out, they get a stare down with Tommy. It was like he was about to walk out of the room, but then he turns around and try to attack Black. But Black just does a quick Black Mask heel kick right to Tommy's jaw. Sick looking kick. Again, I love watching Aleister Black. He needs to be an NXT champion. And I'm predicting by Royal Rumble he'll be the NXT champion. And then he had a match against Kyle O'Reilly, the debuting Kyle O'Reilly, who got a pretty decent pop. Like, I haven't watched much wrestling outside of WWE, so I don't know who Kyle O'Reilly is, but he must be popular because he did get a decent pop. He had a pretty solid. It was a longer match, but he had a really good debut match against Aleister Black. But of course, Aleister Black's quickness and his unique, different style, his agility and stuff, just wasn't enough for Riley as he suffered a loss after a Black Mask to him by Aleister Black. Aleister Black wins in the main event. Looks like we're going to be going into a feud though with Aleister Black and Hideo Itami. It looks like Cassius Ohno is sidelined for now, so we'll see what happens going forward at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. We also there was also a promo showing what happened last week between Authors of Pain and Sanity. That match is beneficial for the tag titles at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. So far we definitely have an NXT Championship match between Bobby Roode and Drew McIntyre. We have the NXT Women's Championship match between Asuka and Ember Moon. We have the tag title match between Authors of Pain and Sanity. So it looks like we're going to get Hideo Itami and Aleister Black, and then another match probably involving like Johnny Gargano maybe and Andrade Cien Almas, but we'll have to wait and see. But definitely a lot to look forward to at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 in 3 weeks. We'll have that as well as SummerSlam, which that card is stacking up as well. So overall, another good solid episode of NXT tonight. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it a solid B. Strong episode, not blown out of the water, but a strong episode by the developmental brand as always. That's it, guys. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please click that like and subscribe for more content to come on my channel. Make sure to check out my Raw and SmackDown reviews from this past week as well. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93 and to stay tuned for more content to come to my channel. All right, guys. With that, guys, I am out. I will see you all later. Have a great night.